Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Bitcoin at 42,000, Ethereum a hair under 2,900, XRP just under 80 cents, and you can see the rest of the top 10 cryptos here with Solana, Luna, and Avalanche being the big gainers. Those three each up over 3.5% each now. That's really boosting up the market at the current time. Now, if you missed that video that was released earlier, make sure you check it out. I'll link it in the video description and I'll put it up in the top right-hand corner. In that video, I went through the details that were just released this morning about the BlockFi settlement, how the SEC used the Reeves test and the Howey test against BlockFi, and what this might mean, as this could be used as a future template for other enforcement actions and potential settlements with other companies offering interest on your crypto assets. This is a key sticking point for the SEC. They don't want you earning anything on your crypto. Now, Hester Peirce has come out with a response here saying her take on what happened here and what's going on and why she disagrees. Let's read through it. It's not very long. It's only about a page and a half or so if this was an actual document. So this again coming out today, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. February 14th, 2022. Hester Peirce says, a lot of securities lawyers will nod. Yes, I saw this coming in response to today's settlement with BlockFi Lending, a company taking in crypto from a wide range of investors and promising returns could implicate the securities laws in several ways. Today's settlement tags that arrangement as both an investment contract under Howey and a note under Reeves. On top of that, the settlement deems BlockFi an unregistered investment company. Lurking behind the legal analysis, however, is an important question. Is the approach we are taking to crypto lending the best way to protect crypto lending customers? I do not think it is, so I respectfully dissent, she says. As an initial matter, it is difficult to understand how the civil penalty will protect investors. BlockFi will pay the SEC $50 million and will pay another $50 million in connection with state settlements for the same conduct. While penalties this size are intended to deter bad conduct, here, there is no allegation that BlockFi failed to pay its customers the money due them or failed to return the crypto lent to it. BlockFi's misrepresentations about over-collateralization are serious, but the combined $100 million penalty nevertheless seems disproportionate. And pausing a second here, I personally used BlockFi and I had no issues with getting the interest payments as promised. There was no, at least from my standpoint, concern about the money being given to me. And when I did take money out of BlockFi, it was available in the time I expected. I withdrew Bitcoin and put it into Voyager and had no issue. It settled in the normal settlement times for Bitcoin, not as fast as XRP, obviously, but no issue. So the penalty definitely seems disproportionate. If they misrepresented their collateralization, fine, maybe there should be a penalty, but $100 million is excessive. She continues here, the piece of the settlement aimed at getting important information to customers is more understandable from a retail protection standpoint. Customers who lend crypto assets to a company in exchange for a promised return should get the information they need to assess the risk against the rewards. A company offering crypto lending services could offer that information voluntarily as a way to gain and retain customers. For those companies that do not provide the information on their own, a self-regulatory or government regulatory framework might make sense. Securities law is one regulatory framework through which one could force transparency. This settlement seeks to do just that. The order instituting proceedings states that BlockFi's parent company has announced that it confidentially submitted a draft registration statement on Form S-1. If this registration statement becomes effective, it will afford BlockFi customers helpful transparency. but it is worth asking whether a framework other than the securities regulatory framework might be better suited to getting customers transparency around the terms and risks of crypto lending products. Applying the securities regulatory framework has consequences, some of which may be unfortunate. Rather than forcing transparency around retail crypto lending products, today's settlement may stop them from being offered to retail customers in the US. BlockFi will not be allowed to take in any additional crypto from retail investors until the company has registered a new crypto lending product on Form S1. Getting an S1 to the point where staff will declare it effective is often a months-long iterative process. While crypto is at issue, the time frame is likely to be longer than it would be for more traditional filings. If you go back to the video earlier, this is the exact thing I posted as the pinned comment. Will the SEC even approve their registration request? Because now they've stopped taking new deposits into their BlockFi interest accounts, and now will file in order to get a new product offered that will do a similar thing. But getting that to the point where it gets deemed as usable, where that product is approved, where the staff is comfortable with it at the SEC, can take a very long time and could put them really behind the 8 ball when it comes to other platforms offering products and services. Now, if they are able to get theirs in through the process first, that could actually prove to be an advantage as others are scrambling to meet the SEC's demands. And then BlockFi could potentially be the first mover there and have that lead. And this is something we've talked about multiple times in the SEC versus Ripple case. So it'll be interesting to see how this certain finding here, this settlement, proliferates through some of the other crypto cases going on, whether that be with Ripple or Library or whoever it might be. Continuing here with Hester Peirce's statement, even assuming BlockFi perseveres and prevails in the S1 registration process, before it can restart its lending program, it has to leap through another regulatory hoop, the Investment Company Act. The Commission has found that BlockFi operated as an unregistered investment company, yet BlockFi cannot register as an investment company since it issues debt securities, and so it needs an exemption or exclusion from registration. The order instituting proceedings also specifically discusses the market intermediary exclusion. If BlockFi seeks refuge in this rarely used exclusion, it has a challenging path to prove it qualifies, particularly with the Commission staff's typical heightened scrutiny over crypto companies. The Commission's lack of experience with the market intermediary exclusion, combined with the nature of BlockFi's business, suggests that the 60-day time frame, even if extended an additional 30 days, allocated for BlockFi to provide the Commission staff with sufficient credible evidence that it is no longer required to be registered under the Investment Company Act is extremely ambitious. More importantly, what ends does this Investment Company Act exercise serve? The Form S1 should already satisfy the information disclosure objective at the heart of this settlement. Finding a way not to be subject to the Investment Company Act would not seem to serve an additional protective purpose. If the Commission believes that additional protections are needed to make up for not being covered by the Investment Company Act protections, then we could work with BlockFi under Section 6C exemptive authority to craft a bespoke set of conditions that make sense in this context. The Section 6C process also lends itself better to public input, very important there, which seems appropriate given that today's settlement will reverberate beyond just the settling entity and will affect competing crypto lenders and their customers as well. Hester Peirce is wise to note this. The actions that happened here will not just impact BlockFi, but again, as we talked about in the prior video, Celsius, Nexo, Voyager, any company offering Gemini, any company offering interest on their crypto products is now on notice that these kinds of actions can come against them, and there is already a template here. This is what the SEC used against BlockFi. Now they can just, again, copy and paste that to these other companies. Now here is her conclusion. We often tell companies wanting to offer products that could implicate the securities laws to, quote, come in and talk to us. To make that invitation meaningful, however, we need to commit to working with these companies to craft sensible, timely, and achievable regulatory paths, working with an earnest desire to reach a prudent, properly calibrated regulatory outcome is important for a number of reasons. First, these products matter to people. A program that allows people, and not just affluent people, to keep their crypto assets while still earning a return is valuable to many Americans, as evidenced by the program's popularity in the US to date. The investor protection objective of today's settlement will be poorly served if retail investors are ultimately shut out from participation in these products. Second, our process speaks volumes about our integrity as a regulator. Inviting people to come in and talk to us only to drag them through a difficult, lengthy, unproductive, and labyrinthine regulatory process casts the Commission in a bad light and thus makes us a less effective regulator. Third, a company that tries to do the right thing should be met across the table by a regulator that tries to get a sensible result in a reasonable time frame. For the sake of the American public, our own reputation, and the companies that heed our call to come in and talk to us, we need to do better than we have so far at accommodating innovation through thoughtful use of the exemptive authority Congress gave us. Very well put here. Remember, Hester Peirce is really the final advocate we have on the SEC Commission, or as an SEC Commissioner. Ela Reisman's gone, so we have one voice to speak out on behalf of the investor public. At least she is doing that. It is hard for her to fight against everybody else's vote, though, so you can't fault her for at least issuing a statement, despite the fact that she doesn't have the ability to outvote Gensler and his teammates on the commission there. So it's important that we understand the repercussions of this case. As she notes, this can have major impacts, not just with BlockFi, but with other companies, and it would be a travesty if American investors are unable to participate in these crypto investment-bearing or interest-bearing accounts. The ability to continue to hold your assets while accruing interest and being able to be paid that interest in your crypto assets is tremendous. It is an amazing opportunity that has made a lot of people money and helped to grow their portfolios in a way that hasn't been seen before. This is truly a revolutionary product and can help grow your savings and wealth, but the SEC has to step away from trying to protect us from making money.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.